Okay, hang on just a second here. And so, are you really in New York?
Yeah, I am. I'm really in New York, but I'm coming home next week.
Well, I hope so. I see you in clubs. I never get over to say hello to your table. Now that you're a record company executive.
Is it hot?
It's not bad. It's real pretty. Nice weather.
Great, great.
As soon as they tell me we're all set here, we'll go.
Okay.
Okay, we're all set? Okay, here we go. All right, Jimmy, well, let's start with first things first. Where is Joe Merchant?
Well, now Joe Merchant's on the bestseller list, so I'm very happy. He's somewhere out there, so I don't want to tell you where it is because it would give the end of the book away.
Uh-huh. Well, you know how they say to write about what you know. Is that what you're doing with your book?
Definitely. I always wanted to write a book. It's been in there since actually before I ever even got into music. I wanted to be a writer. And the book of short stories and the children's books were warm-ups to this, and I wanted to attack a novel. And when I did it, you know, I know about being a middle-aged rock and roller, and I know about the Caribbean, so put all those ingredients together and try to come up with a plot.
Mm-hmm. Tell me about the process of writing a book for you. Is it an extension of songwriting or a totally different process?
It's in ways it's an extension of songwriting, but in ways it's totally different. To me, the biggest difference is it's in the scope of what you're trying to accomplish it's huge compared to, say, 3 verses and 2 choruses of a song. So the biggest problems I had in writing the book were keeping everything in order. And the way that I found a solution to do that is I went back and used an old songwriting or a show pacing technique, and that's I gave every chapter a title, so that it gave me a sense of, in a short phrase, I knew what was in each chapter so that I could pace the whole story. You
know, speaking of your your chapter titles, I'm wondering if you're not going to have to share some royalties here. You got You Can't Hide Your Mayan Eyes, Living on Island Time. Gee, I wonder where those might have come from.
I cleared them all before I used them.
How do you enjoy writing books? I mean, is it a love-hate relationship for you, or you just sit down and it flows out of the, Macintosh typewriter?
Oh, no, I got a compact and it doesn't flow out of it. It's a lot of work. I guess the dedication or the time that it took to sit down and work actually, we all think we've got one in us until it comes time to actually start. You know, the great 2-page synopsises are great, but to have the discipline to sit down and write a book was the one thing I really learned. And I didn't know whether I had it or not, but the only way to find out is to go attempt to do it. So the writing process is not something that's sort of a scripted version of getting up in the morning and smelling the coffee and going to your word processor and having a joyous day. I felt the whole time like I was mentally pregnant, you know. I mean, my wife was pregnant, so I sympathized in a way. There were great days and there were really bad days, but you had to see the whole process through.
Well, you're right that everybody thinks, you know, we have a book in us, and it's terrific that you've done it and you've got it on the bestseller list. But you know, it's funny, when I think of Jimmy Buffett, I don't think of a disciplined guy who would sit down and just, you know, have it all together coming out.
I don't either, you know, but the thing of it is, we all have a book that we can tell over a drink in a bar, you know, then you have to sit down and spend a couple of years writing it. So that's the difference. But the discipline's in there that I think that I really would have never written this book if I hadn't gone back and took flying lessons and got my pilot's license. It was the first piece of discipline that had entered my life in about 30 years. And it taught me that I could go back and study harder then than I ever did when I was in high school or college.
Mm-hmm. People look at you, Jimmy, and they think, there's a guy who's got it all. He does anything he wants to. He lives the way we all wish we could. You make it look so simple.
Good, because you know what? It's great. I worked hard to get here and I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Hey, what haven't you done yet? I mean, you're writing books, you're a great singer-songwriter. Is there anything left that you still have out there that you want to do? Maybe movies?
Broadway.
Broadway. What would you like to do on Broadway?
Probably write. I mean, I've always, you know, it's the other piece of live performance that really excites me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 20 years of live performing. That might be the next thing that goes on.
Good. Well, we'll look for you on the Great White Way, and hopefully we'll see you soon in Nashville.
Thank you very much, Kip.
Congratulations on the book on the bestseller list.
Bye-bye.
Bye.